Hey guys, Rhythm of Chaos with another video for you guys. Sorry it's been a while, just a lot of things going on right now. Haven't really had time to make videos, but I gotta be honest, I've been really lazy just to make one. But here's one. This is not football, this is about NASCAR. I like NASCAR. Been following it since I was a kid, and I thought I should make my own silly season. Silly season is basically like kind of like free agency in football. So this is what I think is gonna happen, and hopefully you guys like it. By the way, there is a 99% chance my phone is gonna eat shit because I legitimately have it on my internet box. So reason why is I cannot use the other room I usually use because my dogs are in there. So it's really hot outside. So yeah. Either way, let's get to it. This is called my 2018 drivers list, aka NASCAR silly season. So the number one is gonna be Jamie McMurray. He's not going anywhere. His sponsors are not going anywhere. So it's gonna be his sponsors will be McDonald's, Cessna, and Gear Wrench. The number two is Brad Keselowski. He will have Miller Lite, Worthu, and Alliance Truck Parts as his sponsors. Then it'll be Austin Dillon. Austin Dillon in a 3-car with Dow Chemical, American Ethanol, and Cheerios as his sponsors. Kevin Harvick will return to the 4-car with Busch Beers, Jimmy John's, and Dietech as his sponsor. Unfortunately, Outback will not return after this season, I believe. So he'll go from 4 sponsors to 3 sponsors, but we're pretty sure that Hunt Brothers Pizza is going to end up sponsoring him. The number 5 is recently announced William Byron. He'll bring his Liberty University sponsorship with him, and I believe that Windows, Microsoft, and just maybe I think Exalta might sponsor him for a couple of races because they just upped their sponsorship with Alex Bowman, who is in the 88 replacing Dale Jr. So if anything, they'll sponsor him for like maybe 6-7 races. Which is a lot of races for Exalta because last time they sponsored that much races in a season was with Jeff Gordon when they were still DuPont. So yeah. Either way, next will be the number 6 of Trevor Bayne. He'll have Advocare, Ford Performance, and Liberty Insurance as the sponsors. The 7, I believe J.J. Yaley will take over that car and have Golden Corral and Phoenix Construction as his full-time sponsors, with Golden Corral possibly sponsoring around 15 to 16 races, and Phoenix Construction maybe sponsoring about maybe 7 to 8 races. And number 10, Danica Patrick retires and tries to start her own family with a boyfriend, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., so she retires, and yeah. And the number 11 is Denny Hamlin with the and he'll have FedEx and Sport Clips coming back to him. And number 12, recently announced, Ryan Blaney will have a Discount Tire, SKF, Autotrader.com. I can't remember what the that one sponsor is, but it's like Rev. I think they'll sponsor him, and so will Fitzgerald, Fitzgerald Co., which are all Xfinity sponsors. The 13, I think Brandon Jones will move up from the Xfinity Series to the Cup Series, and he'll have Next Year Automotive, Rain X, Anderson's Maple Syrup as his sponsors. And the 14, Clint Boyer will gain sponsorship from Mobil 1 from projected to be 6 races that they're sponsoring this year, 6 to 8 races, to now having 13 races sponsored by Mobil 1. They'll gain sponsorship from Aspen Dental for about 10 races, and they'll also gain Code 3 Associates, the sponsors, and Rush Truck Centers. For 15 will be Reed Sorensen. He'll have multiple sponsors like they always do every year. And the 16, I think Ryan Reed will move up from the Xfinity Series. Finally, he'll move up to the 16 and have Lilly Diabetes and Ford Performance as his sponsors. And the 17 will be Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He'll have Fastenal and Fifth Third Bank and Nesson.com and Sunny D at the sponsors. So yeah. And the 18 will be Kyle Busch, of course. He'll have M&M's, Interstate Batteries, and all the Mars associated sponsors. And the 19 will be Daniel Suarez. He'll have Aries, Aries Group, Subway, and Stanley Tools as the sponsor. The 20 will be Eric Jones. He'll have GameStop, Sirius XM Radio, and Reese's Foods as his sponsors. The 21 will be Paul Menard with all the Menard sponsorships, like Peak, Motor Oil, Duracell, Valvoline, Turtle Wax, and all that crap. The 22 will be Joey Logano. He'll have, again, Shell Pennzoil, AAA, and Shell Platinum as the sponsors. So, yeah. In the 23, big announcement. GMS Racing moves up to the Cup Series. They will still have their Xfinity Series, but they'll move up to Cup, and they'll field 2 teams. The number 1 team will be for Spencer Gallagher. He'll have Allegiant Airlines and Kingman as his sponsors. I think that he'll do fairly well, maybe around 22nd, 23rd-ish in the points. And the 24 will be Chase Elliott with Napa Auto Parts, Sun One Energy, and Hooters as the sponsors. And the 25 will be Casey Kane. He will be a part of the GMS Racing team. He'll gain the number 25 from Hendrick Motorsports. I think Rick Hendrick, as he's still signed with it. He's technically still signed with Hendrick. Well, not really signed anymore, but Rick Hendrick is going to pay him for the 2018 season. So I think because of that, I think GMS can kind of like wing themselves and try Casey Kane for the second car, knowing that they don't really have to pay him. Maybe just like a small portion, just because Rick Hendrick's paying him. I think his sponsors will be, he'll be the number 25, by the way. His sponsors will be Mountain Dew, LiftMaster, UniFirst, and Drive to and Hunger. I think those sponsors will possibly go up. I think his biggest sponsors are going to be LiftMaster and Mountain Dew. I think Mountain Dew has gained a little bit more famous in the last couple seasons, so I think maybe they'll up from like 4 races a year, which is I think they sponsor. I think they sponsor now. They sponsored Casey Kane for 2. They sponsored Dale Jr. for 3, and they sponsored Chase Elliott for like 2. So that in total that would be like 7 races. I think they're gonna up to 15 races. So they'll have 15 races with them with Mountain Dew, and LiftMaster will probably get like, I don't know, 10, 8 races. And the 27, with Paul Menard leaving, Ty Dillon will move on to the number 27 with Geico, Westco, Daniel Defense, and Twisted Tea as the sponsors. The next one will be the 31 car. Ryan Newman will stay in that car with Caterpillar, Granger, and Wix Filters as the sponsors. The 32 was just announced that Matt DiBenedetto will be returning to that team, and he'll have Can-Am, KeenParts.com, and Cosmo Motors as his main sponsors. Next will be Jeffrey Earnhardt. His sponsors will be Hulu, Starter, and CRC Barkling. I think that they'll gain better performance. I think they're going to be getting... I think they're going to leave ECR engines. And I think they're going to try to make an alliance with Hendrick Motorsports and try to get some of their engines and chassis. Yeah, so let's go to the next page. The next page is the number 34 of Landon Castle. He'll have Love Travelers and Pete's Store as his sponsors, like always. And then next will be the number 37, which is Chris Buescher. He will turn to JTG, whatever the hell that team's name, Darty Racing. He'll have Click It, Kingsford, and Clorox as his main sponsors. Of course, all the Kroger brands. The number 38 will be David Reagan. He'll have some of his companies returning, like Jacob Companies, Camping World, and A&W Restaurant. They'll be returning to him for the 2018 season. And number 41, I think Kurt Busch will re-sign with Stewart Haas Racing for about 2 to 3 years. Haas Automation will return, of course. I think Monster Energy will return for only 1 season. I think they'll just try to help Kurt Busch as much as they can. They're not going to sponsor as much races as they're doing now, which is like about 16, 15 races. I think they're going to scale down to like maybe 8 to 11 races. With that being said, Mobile One has to step up and help him as well. And of course, State Water Heaters. And then number 42 is Kyle Larson. Now, everyone knows that Target just is not returning to their team. I think that's the stupidest thing I have ever heard out of a sponsor. They did it in the IndyCar series or whatever it was. I think this is stupid because Kyle Larson is running the best he's ever been. Last month was a down season for them, but throughout the whole year they've been running solid. They week in, week out, they've been like, if not the fastest car, like in the top 5. So I think Target is being stupid for that. I mean, I understand from like corporations part, like you don't have money, but come on, there's like 1 billion Targets. I mean, the only other sponsor I could possibly think about that may try to, you know, sweep their way in there just because Target is no longer there and they're really big competitors is Target will be Walmart. So maybe Walmart will get in there, but I really doubt it. So with that being said, I think Credit One will step up, and then Axe will step up, Clorox, and then my surprise sponsor, I think he will gain sponsorship from Verizon Wireless. I think he'll get about maybe 6 races sponsored by them, just to get their feet wet back into the series. And the 43 will be Eric Almirola. He'll return to that car. He'll have Smithfield, fresh from Florida, and all that crap. And then the 44, Darrell Bubba Wallace Jr. will drive the number 44 car for Richard Petty Motorsports, and he'll have Lidios, Coca-Cola, and other multiple sponsors with him. Hopefully he gets a big time sponsor, I'm hoping, because this guy can race, and I just really want a big career for him. But either way, number 46 will be Carl Long. He'll return. He'll have multiple sponsors, like always. Well, any sponsors at all. The next car will be the 47 of A.J. Allmendinger. He'll have all the Kroger brands, which is basically like Click It, King's Ford, and Clorox, and all that crap. And number 48 will be Jimmy Johnson. He'll have Lowe's and Cobalt Tools, Jimmy Johnson Foundation. And the 51 will be Greg Galding. He'll bring Dr. Pepper with him, Addiction Kansas, and Bubba Burger with him to the 51. And number 55 will be Timmy Hill. He'll bring Fieldview, Lily Trucking, and Sleep Fresh. That will be his sponsors. So hopefully they do good for him. And number 72, Colbert will return to TriStar Motorsports. He'll bring his normal sponsors like Arctic Coolers, Badwood Mowers, and Rinnai water heaters. And then here is my surprise driver. This guy is said to be retired after the season. I really don't think so. I think he has just a lot to show. He's been running really good. He almost won at Watkins Glen. His name is Matt Kenseth. I think he will drive the 77 car for Furniture Row Racing. And AT&T will return to the series, and they will sponsor him for half the races. Everyone knows that DirecTV is aligned with AT&T, so they will sponsor a couple of races too, as well as DeWalt Tools. I think DeWalt Tools they love Matt Kenseth. I don't think they will risk sponsoring Daniel Suarez. So, I mean, besides, Daniel Suarez already has like a full-on sponsorship thing with Aries and Stanley and all that. So that's what I think. The 78 will be Martin Truex Jr. I think Bass Pro Shops will return. I think 5 Hour Energy moves on to their team, or his team, and then Auto Owners Insurance will stay with them. Alex Bowman will replace Dale Jr. He'll have a Nationwide, Exalta, and a returning Amp Energy. With Casey Kane having Mountain Dew, I think Amp Energy will step back in for a couple of races, maybe like 2 or 3 races. And next will be the 95 of Michael McDowell, who'll have his typical sponsors like K-Love, TW Drywall, and WRL General Construction or Contractors or whatever the hell it is. So yeah, and the last car will be the 96 of DJ Cannington. He'll have his sponsors he had for Daytona, which is Lordeco, Castro Motor Oil, and Triad CNC. Hopefully they get more sponsorships. I think they're not going to run the full season. I think they'll run about maybe 10, 12 races this season just to get their, filling in there. And yeah. So guys, this is it for the video. Hope you guys liked it. I know it's a little off topic. I know you guys are probably saying like, what the hell, football season is back. Yes, it is. But I'm trying to do the best, guys. I'm trying to do something different. So, sorry I haven't made a video in a long time for you guys. Remember, stay classic. Oh shit, I meant classy. Shit, my bad. See, this is how long I haven't done these videos, but alright guys, peace.